Hi, this is Chandrasekhar Prabhu once again. Since we spoke last, there have been several societies who are extremely anxious. The anxiety I can understand. On one hand, corona cases are increasing. Lot of senior members of the society are falling ill. On the other hand, they are worried that their finance may not be arranged. I know of several societies who have contributed money in their endeavor to get an IOD. Some of them have even got an IOD by spending money, by collecting money from people. And at this stage, they are worried that if Mumbai Bank, which had earlier promised them that they would give the money, stops the money completely or decides not to lend to them, or if the RBI stops Mumbai Bank from lending, then how would these projects proceed? Taking advantage of the anxiety of the members of the society, a new breed of so-called project managers have emerged. These so-called project managers have support of some organization which claims to be representing the cooperative housing society. In fact, such organizations which collect money from cooperative housing societies for doing small little favors and for paying bribes don't deserve to be respected as organizations. But however, such organizations are promoting people who they call managers, and they are supposed to be project managers. And these project managers give some very fancy kind of assurances to people, and they also give them their own fee structure. One of the societies, I saw what the project manager has given to the society, and I was totally shocked at the kind of proposal that the project manager has given. First of all, the project manager's fee has been shown to be 23.5% of the construction cost. Again, I went through the details of the construction cost, and I found that the construction cost itself has been grossly exaggerated. So first you exaggerate the construction cost, and then you say I shall charge 23 to 24% of the construction cost. This is completely wrong. The construction cost has to be within reasonable limits, should not be padded and should not be inflated. And on the actual construction cost, all the professional fees put together, architects' fees, structural engineers' fees, PMC's fees, MEP consultants' fees, lawyers' fees, chartered accountants' fees, all fees put together should not generally exceed more than 8% of the construction cost. However, in some exceptional cases, it can go up to 10%. But it need not under any circumstances exceed 10% of the construction cost. However, the project managers are saying that the ongoing rate is 25%, 30%, and we are taking 23%, so we are doing you a favor. This is completely wrong. This is illegal, and this is not proper. First of all, I also blame the cooperative housing societies. The project manager is definitely to blame, but the cooperative housing society cannot absolve themselves from the blame. It is expected that before you appoint a PMC or an architect, you interview at least 10 people and take quotations from them. If you generally would find out from other cooperative housing societies, we have known PMCs who are willing to do only PMC job, just the PMC part of the work for 3% of the construction cost. And these are multinational PMCs of repute are willing to do the project management for a fee of about 3%. If the society is very small, then they may charge a little more. But if the society is large, then the project management consultancy charges less than 2% also. We have seen them quote. So someone says that the overall consolidated fee should be 23% is wrong. Moreover, there is a patent conflict of interest. For instance, the architect does the design, and it's the architect's duty to ensure that the design and the elevation are to the best possible quality. If the design and the elevation is of international quality, then and only then the flats will sell. In these days of pandemic, there is a problem for the sale of the flats. So unless you give good quality design, architectural design, the building will not be attractive enough and you won't get customers. So it is absolutely essential that some architect who has certain amount of quality and who could be preferably a brand architect must get the job, so that the society doesn't find it difficult to sell the flats. The architect then, in consultation with the society, also selects the structural engineer. The structural engineer is important. However, the architect and the structural engineer on one side and the PMC, the project management consultant, supervises the construction that the contractor does. Now, the PMC has a right to comment on the design done by the architect, and the architect has a right to dictate the PMC to go ahead with the implementation of the program as per the design and as per the schedule worked out by the architect. If the same agency does the architectural work, does the structural engineer work, and does the PMC's work, does the MEP work, then there is a patent conflict of interest that likely to happen. And if there is a conflict of interest, which we have seen in most cases where you put all your eggs in one basket, then the quality is likely to suffer and you are likely to get less area and less corpus. So coming back to this example where the project manager was charging 23 or 24%, not just that, he charged administrative expenses. Now, why should the society pay administrative expenses of the project manager? There is no administrative expenses for the society, but this is an additional money that has been put. Then there is a lump sum amount that they put as lump sum expenses. What is lump sum expenses? Unless you explain what the expenses are for, you cannot put lump sum expenses. In this particular case, the lump sum expenses are 20 lakhs and above. Not just that, administrative expenses, lump sum expenses, then they are showing expenses for marketing. Now, what can be an expense for marketing of a 600 square meter plot? The expenses for marketing itself has been shown as 60 lakhs of rupees. The expense for marketing, if at all, is through making of a brochure and making of a website, which should cost at the most a lakh of rupees, 2 lakhs of rupees, at the most 5 lakhs of rupees. But budgeting an amount of 50 to 60 lakhs of rupees for marketing, and after spending this amount on marketing, again they have charged for brokerage, 2 crores of rupees for brokerage. Innumerable such expenses have been shown, and unfortunately the Cooperative Housing Society office bearers have signed on the dotted line. A society which should have got a minimum of 45% extra area has finally landed up signing for 24% extra area. It means, please remember that 35% over and above the existing area occupied by members is available free of cost as fungible. So if some project manager is saying that you will only be entitled 24% over your extra area, it means he is very clearly cheating you. 35% fungible is eligible as a right, and that is available free. Then how can you give only 24%? He says it doesn't fall within the financial. First you increase all the prices, then you decrease the area to be given to the members, then you decrease the corpus to be given to the members, and then you say, as it is, you are just getting 24% and barely any corpus. So why do you want to go for self-redevelopment? The project manager himself becomes a builder and say, I will sell the surplus area, and if I don't sell, it's on me. So let us change from the self-redevelopment model to the builder's model. So the modus operandi of such people is very simple and clear. Approach the society, give them a feasibility report with such inflated costs. Because of the inflated costs, show that the project is totally unviable. Because the project is unviable, reduce the extra area to be given to the members from normally, in a normal course, in MADA buildings, they can get 200% extra area. Or if the square feetage for a house presently is 500, under the new scheme it could be even 1,000 square feet after redevelopment. That is only on MADA lands. But on other private cooperative housing societies, minimum should be 35 to 45%. There can be no building which can go beyond the extra area should go below 35% or 40%. However, people have signed, cooperative societies have signed for 24%, even 20% in some cases. This is absolute cheating and thuggery. So may I make this humble request to all cooperative housing societies that please wait, put your scheme on hold till the pandemic dies down a bit. We are already in the lockdown period till the 1st of June. Let us wait for a while. It's going to rain now. Immediately the foundations can't happen. Let us wait for a while and check how we get our finances. The most ideal way of bartering finances is by the schemes of selling at discounted price to the existing members and their families, as we have told in several of our posts. But assuming that doesn't happen, then the NBFCs will come to your rescue. We are also trying to get foreign direct investment for all those projects. For foreign direct investment to come and work out details, it is going to take some time. In the meanwhile, don't hurry up and go to some unscrupulous person and sign as a development manager, because finally this development manager is going to convert himself to a builder and your self-development scheme will be gone and it will be a builder scheme. Moreover, the GR of 13th September 2019 has not been acted upon by the government. The political parties are soon going to come to you to ask for your votes for the corporation elections. All cooperative housing societies should tell all political parties that first implement the GR of 13th September 2019, which gives all the cooperative housing societies going for self-redevelopment several advantages: 10% extra area, no payment of land under construction tax, reduction in payment of open spaces tax, reduction in stamp duty, reduction if possible in GST on the items to be purchased, and several other benefits including a one-window system of approval has been agreed by the GR. The GR has not been withdrawn by the new government. The GR is still valid, and hence we need not be in a hurry to start the work immediately. Let us first arrange our finance, because the best way of financing is without taking any loans from any financial institutions, by pre-booking to our members and their family members at a discounted price, and also permitting members to sell the flats by giving them an incentive of 2% brokerage to our own members. Our experience is that under this scheme of giving discount to members, about 60% of the saleable area gets sold to the members' families and extended families. And once this money comes in, because those who are booking the extra area can avail of the home loans, and home loans are very freely available, there is no problem of disbursing the home loan, then the money that will be available to cooperative societies will be available at an interest rate of about 7%, which is the cheapest interest rate that could be available to anyone. And that is what is the ideal thing. Please don't get misguided by people who talk big, promise you the moon, and don't deliver. Please remember that the payment to project management consultants is to be done on the construction cost and should not exceed 10%. And please do not hurry till proper arrangements from NBFCs and Housing Finance Corporation and companies and foreign direct investment is finalized. It is going to take them some time to formalize. We are still in talks with the State Bank of India and other nationalized banks. They have written to the RBI. The RBI has not yet replied to them. So till the time the reply comes, please hold your horses. Please do not hurry into signing contracts and agreement with anybody. The self-development of cooperative societies is no more a dream, it is a reality. And this reality we shall make it happen. With this is Chandrasekhar Prabhu bidding you au revoir, promising you to be back with more posts. But remember, please do not hurry to sign with development managers. The funding will come, and funding is being arranged, and we shall succeed. Don't sign up with unscrupulous elements. Bye for now.